Florida State versus Wake Forest. Florida State will be traveling to play Wake Forest at their home. ESPN currently has Florida State as a 20-point favorite in this game. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and boost that up to about a 90% chance of winning, and I do think Florida State goes over there to Wake Forest and gets the win. Guys, let me be honest, Wake Forest right now, their offense still causes problems for a lot of teams. I think Florida State will adjust. I think that our playmakers will make a difference in this game. Will Wake Forest score? Yes, they will score, but will they score to a point where it's any concern for Florida State? I don't think so. Based on what Florida State has done the last couple of games with their offense and their defense, not allowing a lot of points in the second half, I do think Florida State rolls into Wake Forest and wins this game. Florida State on the road versus Pitt. Now, I have Florida State this game to start the season off as a ranked game. I honestly had Florida State versus Pitt ranked game. We all see what Pitt's doing now. I believe Pitt, as of right now, has won only 2 games during the season. I cannot pick an upset, or I cannot say Florida State would be on upset alert like they are on quote-unquote upset alert versus Wake Forest, because we haven't beat Wake Forest in like, what, 4 years? So there's a like ghost looming around Florida State right now to beat Wake Forest. But when it comes to Pitt, guys, let me tell you something. This Pitt team is bad. I don't know how they beat Louisville. I think Louisville was asleep while they was playing this team. But Florida State versus Pitt, I think Florida State goes to Pitt and rolls Pitt. I don't see Pitt. Their defense and offense are ranked pretty low when it comes to ACC rankings. I think Florida State gets the run game going. I think Florida State runs the ball well versus them. Honestly, I just think Florida State does. Florida State versus Miami. At this game, Florida State will be at home. Miami will be traveling to Florida State to play Florida State at Doak Campbell Stadium. Before the season started, I predicted this game to be a ranked game. I seen what Miami was bringing back, and I seen what Florida State brought back, and I said, I don't see Miami losing until they play Florida State. Turns out I was wrong. Miami lost to Georgia Tech, and they lost to North Carolina, so this game won't be ranked. I had this game ranked as far as Florida State ranked number 1 in the nation, and Miami ranked number 2, or in the top 5, top 10. That's how high I had Miami in my rankings, my preseason ranking. Now, this game isn't that. That doesn't mean that Florida State won't be on upset alert this game. Let me tell you something. If Florida State doesn't get this run game going, if Florida State, if we don't get the run game going, if Miami could just sit back with their DBs and just play pass all game, it will be a close game. Let me tell you something. It will be a close game. Now, what my prediction is, does my prediction still predict Florida State to win this game? Of course, not just saying as a fan, but based on both of these rosters, Miami has a quarterback issue. Just put it that Miami has a huge quarterback issue, and if that quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, or the new guy they got in there, Williams, if he tries to come into Florida State and they just run the ball the whole game, good luck, guys. You guys are going to get stopped. It's probably going to be another blowout. But if Miami can get a couple touchdown passes and this game is going to be close in the 3rd and 4th quarter, it's going to be a good game. I still think Florida State has the talent to pull it off. But you never know, man. You never know, bro. Like I said, but before this game, before the season started, I had Miami winning out until they played Florida State. I had them winning out. All right. But I still got Florida State to win the game. I still think Florida State wins. I have 2 score predictions. They either win by 15 or more, or they win by 3 points, 3 to 5 points. I think Florida State wins comfortably if Tyler Van Dyke throws interceptions, or if the new guy's in. If those 2 things has to happen. But yeah, you just never know until the game is played, November 11th. Game with North Alabama. Not to talk about them so much, guys. North Alabama travels to Florida State. Yeah, guys, this should be a roll, bro. Like I believe this is like senior night as well, or it's a senior night versus Miami. It's one of those nights. North Alabama, come on, guys. That's no, not even. I'm not even gonna waste my time with this. Florida State easily wins that game. Florida State travels down to Florida, playing at Gainesville. Guys, let me tell you something. This game here will have a lot of meaning to it if Florida can beat Georgia this weekend. If that happens, guys, let me tell you something. This game here will be literally one of the biggest games of the year. But it has to happen that way. Florida has to beat Georgia, and maybe they went out and then they play Florida State. And then that game, if Florida State wins, if Florida State's undefeated and Florida is winning out and and they're on fire, let me tell you something, guys. It would be scary times down there in Florida for Florida State, based on scary times, meaning based on like the perception of the game and how more of a heart-beating threat that game would be to Florida State fans like myself. That game would be like, oh my goodness, how did we end up here in this situation versus Florida? No one predicted this. Hey, but if we gonna be down there and Merckx and with Billy Napier and stuff like that, we gotta win the game, guys. We gotta win the game. For the Florida and Florida State game, I'm like I said, based on right now, I see Florida State going down there and winning the game convincingly. More convincingly than the Miami game. I think Florida State, if we get our run game going, Florida State has to get the run game going. No doubts about it. If the run game not going for Florida State, I don't know, man. One of these games, it's going to show up. And most likely that will show up versus Florida. If Florida State's run game is not well, it will show up versus Florida. We're going to see what's going to happen from there. Literally, we will see what happens from there. But make sure you guys do like and make sure you guys subscribe for more. I am out.